Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, August the 24th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Skycam image from Trussville at the early hours. The sun is not quite up yet, showing a few clouds in the sky and also some patchy morning fog. And then we have low clouds down at Mobile as we look out from the battleship Alabama. We can see some of those clouds reflecting the light off of the city of Mobile. A surface front was located across central Alabama, but you had to go back into Tennessee, primarily Nashville or so, to see any real drier air. You can see that on the surface map this morning, as you can see the dew points drop into the mid-60s just north of Nashville. Otherwise, across the area, temperatures generally in the lower 70s, pretty much our typical lows. The big news is that we're going to see the ridge, which has been to our west for much of the summertime. That big ridge is going to expand eastward, and as it does, it should bring some slightly drier air into the region from the north. Right now, radar showing very little across central Alabama, nothing as a matter of fact, but we are showing that weak tropical little surface low that has been moving across the Gulf Coast area for the last couple of days. And that Gulf Coast area is the focus for much of the rain for the next 5 days. That, and of course, with the big ridge in the middle of the country, you see very little precipitation in the central part of the U.S. Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a slight risk primarily on North Dakota, expanding over a little bit to the east. And then on day 2, they only have a sea-text area. And the tropics still remain relatively quiet. National Hurricane Center watching 2 areas, the one in the central Gulf and one approaching or coming into the Yucatan Peninsula, neither of which is likely to develop. The 06Z GFS model run, there's our surface pattern, and it looks like the front is basically going to settle southward. And as the ridge expands, and as it does, I think most of the showers will be to the south, but we can't rule out an isolated shower. In the upper air pattern on Sunday, you see that big ridge, the 594 contour. You see that big ridge expanding eastward across the southeastern U.S., and that should once again suppress much in the way of any shower activity. The big story is the ridge. There it is on Monday, and on Monday, we're going to take a look here at the precipitable water values, and you can see why the forecast now includes no rain for the first part of the week. You can see the precipitable water values quite low as we get a slight northerly and northeasterly flow, which brings some drier air into the region. That flow continues on Tuesday, but the ridge begins to just migrate ever so slowly back to the west. We see that westward progression still on Wednesday, again, minor, subtle. And that also Wednesday shows a front coming down into the Ohio River Valley at the surface, and that front may approach us on Thursday or Friday as we see that northerly flow. However, it does look like precipitable water values come up a little, but not a lot. So I still think on Thursday and then again on Friday, as that front comes in, we may see that as a focus for showers and thunderstorms, but I think they're still going to be quite scattered, as we can see from the surface map for Friday. A week from today, the ridge is still there, but it's weakened, and we also see a little bit of a disturbance in the Mobile area, and that could be another one of those little tropical waves that's moving, an easterly wave moving across the Gulf Coast area. The big changes, though, are in voodoo country, and here's where speculation gets to be kind of fun. There's a look at the 4th of September, and big trough stretching from the western Great Lakes down into the Texas Panhandle, and that could signal, not saying it will, but just saying it could, if it proves to be accurate, that it could signal the first big cold front, not these wimps we've been seeing, but a big cold front for signaling that fall is in the wind. And then some more surprises as we get out to the 8th of September, and we see the trough over the central part of the country. That's no surprise, but notice that there is an upper low situated over Tampa, Florida, and underneath that there's also a surface low, which could indicate the potential for tropical mischief in the area of Florida around the 8th of September. Again, this is voodoo country. We're not forecasting a storm down there just yet. That'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for today. Expect to have the next one posted by 8 a.m. or so on Sunday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for the latest updates on the ever-changing Central Alabama weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.